Now it's time to learn about adding the terms of a sequence. When the terms of a sequence, so for example 1, 2, 3, ... when they're added together, that's what we call it a series. So that's the definition of that word. And our chapter is called Sequences and Series. So a sequence has the commas, and the series has the exact same numbers but with a plus sign in between. So we're just adding up all of the terms. If you want to remember which one's which, I find it helpful to see that this one's got two S's in it, and that reminds me that that's the one that's the sum. I don't know, that might help. Now, we use, just as we have Tn to find the nth term, well, we have Sn to show the nth sum. So what this means is the sum of the first n terms. So if I saw something like S3, that means the sum of the first three terms, which makes sense. And you can figure that out by saying, well, what's the first term and the second term and the third term? I need to just add those up. Now, we've got a few ways that we can write this out. We can either put it with the plus signs, and we see that quite often, or we can use sigma notation as a shorthand way of expressing that series. So we've seen sigma before. That great big sigma sign means take the sum. Down the bottom it tells us what to start with. So it says start with n being equal to 1 in this case, and keep on going up your n values, only using integers, whole numbers, until you get to 5. So this means add up all the values of n from 1 to 5. And then the n squared part here, if there's something written out in front of the sigma, which generally there will be, it's like the little function or the recipe telling you what to do with n. So in this case, we need to square it. So this means we need to start by squaring 1 and then add on the square of 2, so the square of 3, the square of 4, and the square of 5. And they all add up to 55. So you could see this as a question because it's actually asking for a sum, and we can write it out, but we can also simplify it and evaluate it and just get an answer. Now you can also go back the other way. We can convert a series that's written out with the plus signs into sigma notation. So let's have a look at how to do that. First, write your big sigma sign, and then think, well, what n values have we got? What are we starting with, and what are we going up to? And what's the pattern? So you really need to spot a pattern here. Now I can see 2, 3, 4. I know that they come one after the other, and I know 1 is really 1 over 1. So I can see that all the way through it's 1 over something, and those numbers are getting bigger. So it seems to me the pattern is 1 over something, and the first thing I had is 1 over 1. So I'm starting with n equals 1, and it goes all the way up to n being 20. So that goes up the top, and that's my sigma notation done for this series.